Hi everybody, my name is Barry Schwartz and this is the Search Buzz video recap. Today is Friday, May 26th, and this is the search news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable at seroundtable.com over the past week. First up, still those search ranking fluctuations, the algorithm changes that we've been reporting about at Google last week is still ongoing. Some major changes are still happening. It does appear that a lot of sites did get hit. I wouldn't call this the number of sites getting hit at the level of a Fred, Panda, or Penguin, but it definitely does seem like there were some significant changes with the search results impacting a lot of webmasters and so forth. I have a big blog post about it on May 23rd where you can actually learn more about it. And I cover a lot of different reasons why there was an update, including the automated search tracking tools, as well as a lot of reports from Glenn Gabe, from Nathan, from a lot of people in the industry, including comments on our own site, showing how people were actually noticing different ranking changes. I also asked the tools, like various tools like RankRanger and SEMrush, and they all said none of this really had to do with the feature snippet changes, which we thought about last time, which I actually reported about over here, where I said earlier this week, I'm like, maybe these tools lit up because the feature snippet test that where Google was showing was dropping the core web ranking for this feature snippet from the core results. Maybe that's why these tools lit up, and I think SEMrush said maybe, we don't think so. I think Dr. Pete from Moz said probably not, it could be, but RankRanger actually dug into their data and said it's definitely not that case. So that's very interesting to see and hear. So if you were hit, definitely comment there. There's lots and lots of comments. I probably have close to like 500 comments across all my blog posts around that topic over the past week. So definitely take a look at that. Beware, the commenters there are a little bit not as bad as YouTube's commenters, but they're pretty bad, which I do enjoy a little bit, which I'll talk about some other time. Anyway, Google yesterday afternoon published a blog post titled "A Reminder About Links in Large-Scale Article Campaigns," basically saying don't write content, guest blog post, article writing, with the sole intent of just getting links to your website. That's against Google's guidelines. Google doesn't want you to just write content and publish it on other websites just with the intent of getting links. You could do it if you have something valued to add, but just for the purpose of links and embedding keyword-rich links and so forth, don't do that. Of course, it seems just to be a reminder. Google said it's just a reminder. Question is, why did Google publish this? A lot of people, including former Googlers like Pedro and Casper, basically were saying, hey, the reason that Google did this is because usually after a blog post like this, Google will go ahead and send out manual actions. And typically that's the case. But last time Google did a reminder post, they did not. And I asked Gary from Google saying, is this going to be the case? Is Google going to go ahead and now release tons of manual actions after releasing this? And Gary didn't comment. He basically said, I know why. And I don't know. In any event, here's Pedro and Casper saying that they're former Googlers. Here's Gary's response. In my opinion, the issue is a lot of people are saying, hey, all these websites, and you probably get these emails all the time, are selling content articles with the promise of giving a link from a quality website. And now they're using like this DA score. Instead of PR score, because Google got rid of PageRank, they're using DA from Moz, Domain Authority, to sell it. And it's just an issue. And because of that, maybe Google wrote that blog post. I don't know if manual actions will come out. I will definitely keep track of that and let you guys know. Gary from Google also confirmed that over-optimization is, and like he said, totally a thing. You see it over here. Gary basically said, when somebody asked, is over-optimization really a thing? And Gary said, that is totally a thing, but I can't think of a better name for it. It is literally optimizing so much that eventually it starts hurting. And of course, people are using over-optimization in the SEO industry forever. So, yeah, it's good to hear Google confirm that. On the other hand, Google's John Mueller said that not all ads above the fold are bad. And of course he had to say that. And this goes back to what I've been saying for years and years, but take a look at this. So this person asked, aren't all ads above the fold supposed to be bad? And John said no. And this is an example, obviously showing a search result was showing only ads at the top. There are no organic results on the first page above the fold. And it goes back to my post over here where I say Google really needs to Google really needs to get their organic and paid policies on the same page. It's really frustrating because you have organic stuff saying you can't do this, and you have the ad team and AdSense team saying you can't do this. So it's very, very frustrating, and they really need to get on the same page. So Google announced at I/O last week, like we discussed, that the Assistant, Google Assistant, has a standalone app. You can now go to Google, download a Google Assistant app for iOS and talk to it and get your answers answered and do actions. But like Danny Silverman wrote, I wanted to highlight a tweet from Danny, a poll saying, take my poll, I would like Google Assistant and the Google Search app on iOS. I would like them to be either two separate apps, combined, or I don't know. And most people say they want to combine. They want a part of the Google Search app. Why should Google Assistant be on a Google Search app? Why should it be standalone? And maybe lots of reasons for it, I guess, but it's a very good question to ask. Google said, again, there is no sandbox. So people are asking Google, hey, is there a sandbox? What's going on with my website? Why it seems like it's in a sandbox? And Gary from Google said, we don't have a sandbox. What's interesting is Google Sandbox dates back to 2004. In my opinion, it was a thing. I just don't think Google called it that. Matt Cutts actually said, yeah, there is something like a sandbox. He said this back in 2005. And there was actually a hack you could use, and if you want to go to the article, there's a link to it. There was a hack you could use back then to say, hey, was my site impacted by the sandbox? You do a certain type of query, and actually it would remove the sandbox effect to your site. It's very interesting. That obviously was stopped working after we discovered it, but it was very interesting nevertheless. Google said there is no limit to how many times a URL can show on a page. So domain diversity, there is no limit. I'm not going to go into too much detail there. If you want to see more, you can look at that. This is interesting. Google added a personal tab to the search filters in the search filters tools. So here's a screenshot. You can see over here. Zoom in. No. Too many notifications. Did I lose you guys? Hold on a second there. Sorry about that. There's tons of notifications popping up, and it's kind of hard to do this with one hand. Hopefully you guys can see that. In any event, you can see here, if you do a search for anything, there's a new personal tab. And what happens is, let me scroll down so you can see it. You can see over here that it shows like my personal email from Gmail. I don't really use this account, but it's only available if you are in a Google account, not a Google Apps account or signed out. There's a new personal tab. Google hasn't commented about it. I asked them to, but hopefully we'll hear more from them soon. Google is testing on this page feature. It kind of looks like the tags we covered about a few months ago, but it says on this page. You can see over here again a link that scrolls on your page, and this is basically anchors down to specifically content on that Wikipedia page. Google is testing a new people also search for type of carousel. This is spotted over here. So here's a screenshot. You can see this is like a carousel. You can click on it, and it kind of looks, this is what I see, people search for. So you see the same type of searches in this box up here. So this is a new look for that. Google's going to launch their new AdWords interface to all advertisers by the end of the year. They announced that this week, which is cool. Google launched Google Attribution. It's a new tool to let people merge their AdWords, Google Analytics, and double-click search data. It's really a comprehensive look at the whole journey through the life cycle of purchase. Google AdWords is beta testing search ads landing pages with AMP. So their whole point is to see how fast it is. So you do a search. What happens is if you click on something, it's going to then go ahead and launch the AMP version, which is way faster, of course, because it's AMP. So Google's testing that. Google is testing clickable hotel map prices. So here's a screenshot. If you see here, you can actually see on the map they now have prices. They didn't have prices before. They just had map pins. Now you can see the prices, and if you click on it, it will actually bring up the hotel over there, which is pretty cool. Google My Business is adding photo notifications to the Google My Business account user. So if somebody adds a photo of your business in the Google My Business, Google local results, Google My Business will notify you if you have a verified profile. And it looks like Google Analytics is testing a new home section, which kind of summarizes the more useful data that you can see about your website. In any event, thanks so much for listening to the Search Buzz video recap. My name again is Barry Schwartz, and this is search news we covered over at the Search and Roundtable over the past week. Again, today is Friday, May 26th. I am technically, I believe, offline on Wednesday and Thursday of this week. I hope to have some posts scheduled. And everyone have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys next. Bye.